All right, but let me make sure mic is good. I don't have too many squeaky noises around me. Okay, cool. Um, but yeah, pretty much. I don't know if you heard my podcast before. I'll just be talking about random stuff that comes to mind. I do bare minimum research. I mean, when I say bare minimum, I mean I'm looking for a particular word. Oh, there's a rabbit hole this way. Yeah, I'll rabbit hole later. Like let's get this week's recording done, and then we'll go down a rabbit hole another day.
Understandable.
Yep, and didn't help that I tested positive for COVID on Thursday.
I saw that you put that in one of the chats. Damn, man, I'm sorry.
It sucks, but thankfully I feel like I'm on the other side of it, because like Thursday, like midnight to Friday, it was like, this sucks. Friday, I mean, I wasn't feeling well, but I'm here. Saturday, okay, I feel a bit better. Today, I feel good. Just even a little light cough is even lighter. So it's like a win-win.
Nice.
But yeah. And I guess you want to talk about the whole dating things. We can pretty much talk about whatever.
Dating is, oh man, I'm just starting to get back out into dating again, especially with women. And that's been a whole different can of worms.
Because now, even with my anchor partner, she said it herself, like it's hard to date women. Because number one, rejection. But number two, how do you flirt with other women?
It's not even I can deal with the rejection. I expect rejection. Not everyone's going to want me. Cool. You just moved out the way for somebody who does. Great. It's the lack of conversation for me. I'm not going to keep pulling things out like, oh, you like food. What's your favorite food? Tacos. And that's all you say? Okay, so what type of tacos do you like? I don't know. I go to District Taco in DC. Ma'am, do you know how many? First of all, District Taco is not even that good. But I'm biased because I'm from Texas.
I mean, hey, yeehaw. Oh, but that was something I've learned to like set a personal boundary for, where it's like, if I am the beginning, middle, and end of the conversation, then this whole interaction just needs to end.
Absolutely.
Because it's like, at this point, I mean, no offense to them. Maybe that's how they live life. That's how you got this far in life all this time. Who knows? But I'm like, those are signs of an energy vampire. Because it's like, because what's annoying is, say you just like, I don't feel like talking to this person, like 2 days later, they either hit you with a hey or hey, what's going on? And then you're replying, and then they go back to their one word ways of like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I've been working on getting better about just cutting the shit off early. Because this is not going to go well. Right. Even when I see you in person, I know the conversation is going to be the same. And I'm not about to spend money to go to a place and hang out with you for you to bore me. If I wanted to do that, I'd stay at my house.
I'm just saying, like, being bored for free, even hell, the house might have been even more entertaining.
It definitely is, since I got my Xbox fixed.
Oh, you just hit a personal wound just now, because my Xbox went out on me.
Oh no.
Like, it was like the worst time, because so I primarily play Call of Duty with the homies. Like, that's how we interact, because everyone's getting older, having kids, getting married, etc. So
but everybody wants to play Call of Duty, though.
I mean, I'm just saying, hey.
All right.
And then a friend that hasn't played in like a long ass time, he's like an officer in Beaumont, so his schedule is sporadic. Oof. But his schedule sporadic. He got on, was like, oh, bet we about to fly. And then my screen just went black, as if like it's loading. Like, yo, why is this thing not loading? I'm like, I text him like, yo, something's going on. Let me restart my stuff. Restarted it. Doesn't want to come on. Restart it again. Doesn't want to come on. I did all the Googles, all the search, like, what's going on here? What's happening? Oh, do this, press this button 15 seconds, do that, do that. I'm like, it does not want to come on. It's like, oh, you got to have to do a manual reset. Go buy a USB and download it there. Bet, buy USB. Boom, download the system update there. Connected it. Okay, it doesn't want to connect. It doesn't want to do nothing. And finally, when I finally like looked it up, it's like likely a power supply issue. And when I looked up the repairs, it was like 150 to 200. I'm like, for an
Yeah.
Xbox One Series S, like
Oh,
not
same. Exact same as mine.
like not an Xbox One X, not an Xbox One OG, but the Series S, the cheaper model. That's the one they want me to pay around $200 for.
Mm-hmm.
It almost did come like, this is pretty much my entertainment hub. This is all I got. Like, I guess I have to do this. And I was fortunate that my local Best Buy had an Xbox Series S available. And I'm like, for $99.99 more dollars, I can upgrade my system. I don't want to give up this $300 because that's like 300. Like, I got trips going on. I got Jamaica. I got Atlanta. Like, I got stuff to spend money on. But fuck it. Here, Best Buy, take my money. You got it. Here.
Wow.
Let's
Okay.
move
You
on.
went that route. I went the fuck it. I'll just fix it. I'll just go get it fixed. Thankfully, it got fixed for under $200 because it was just a USB. No, I'm sorry, an HDMI problem.
So yeah, mine's power supply. Like they didn't have to get a new power supply because it's like one of those local fixery places. Since mine is like over 2 years old by now. So it's like one of these like local, like Austin has this place where you have a gaming room or whatever they do. And they also like do repairs and stuff. I got my controller fixed there because it had a very bad drift. And yeah, I was gonna go back there. I was gonna pay the 200, but Best Buy nudged me. It's like, hey, we got the newest model. Just $100 more is all yours.
See, Best Buy be getting you that way.
And I don't mind it. Like, Best Buy got my money. I got like a new monitor with it too. Cause I'm like, forget the 40-inch TV. Like now it's right here in this little office of mine. It's like, it's all good. But sorry to drag away from the topic, but it's like, look, we be nerdy. Like we've had these conversations.
Look, we've had this. We will go on tangents all the time.
And I have no problem with it. Oh man, but whoa. Going back. Oh yeah, dead conversations. They suck.
They suck. And I thought maybe, okay, I don't know how to put this, but primarily I date men. And usually men that I have talked to, sometimes they don't have the conversation skills that I'm looking for. I thought, okay, fine, you're a dude. Dudes don't usually focus on conversation like that. Maybe it'll be easier once I start dating women again. No. It's the same fucking problems that I have. All genders have the same problems when you're dating them.
Okay. All right. Hear me out though.
Okay.
Hear me out. It's not a gendered issue, it's a generational one.
Ooh, okay. Talk about that.
All right. So, because I'm 33. So mid-millennial, I guess. Like I'm not an older, I'm not a younger. I'm like
mid-millennial. You're right in the middle. I like to say a true right.
Like, right bam. We
without a shadow of a doubt.
We are the people of the corded phones talking all night and at the same time waiting until 9 o'clock to get your minutes in, at the same time getting unlimited minutes. Like I've been through the stages. So the thing is, because someone's time was precious, because when you're younger, if you're on that phone, you got to make it count, especially because you got a bedtime, you got parents that want to use the phone, or you got internet that people want to connect to and cut you off the phone. So you had like sporadic moments to talk to a person. But then there's a certain generational moment when my year got to college, when Facebook became a thing. Because there was MySpace, but MySpace was more of a look at my page and keep it moving.
Yeah.
Facebook became look at my page and let's talk. And it just kept integrating to where face-to-face conversations were no longer being had, where all you gotta do is just type a thought and then someone replies to your thought. And that whole text exchange was what it was. And now that you have, because it's easier to be bold and forward when you're doing a virtual message, but to be that same person in person, it's like, why did I say I was all about this action when I am not?
Also a word. I've been noticing that some people say that they're down for things, especially ENM, and they're not ready for it. And on one hand, I get that because this shit is, well, not new. People have been doing this for centuries.
Centuries,
But
since the beginning of time.
since the beginning of time, people have been non-monogamous forever. But now we have this new phenomenon of people talking about it, demystifying things, and that's great. But nobody's really talking about the small intricacies to make it work. You kind of just get in thinking, oh, I could just go find a triad. It's no problem. Triads are one of the hardest things to do.
Triads are one of the hardest things to set up, mainly because two out of the two people in that triad are the main reason why it's fucking up.
Exactly. Because they probably brought you in to help fix their relationship. They didn't tell you that.
No, they brought you in for that threesome.
They brought you in for that threesome. And then they started to like you. And then they put rules on you.
And even worse, you only liked one of them. Like you only like really you were in it for the one person, and you thought it was gonna be like a one-time thing to where, all right, I only gotta deal with you once, fine, just for this person. Then like, oh, you gotta deal with both of us all the time. It's like, ew, no.
Right. First of all, that's not realistic. Sometimes I don't want it. I personally don't do triads. I was in a triad de facto for a few years ago. Hated it. I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. It's too many moving parts. I don't want to be around you all the time. I don't want to be with both of you. We all in our feelings, and we all got to be okay with. Nah.
It's just that's too much. Like, so, because going back to how it's not even ENM, it's mainly polyamory that's more so coming to light. Like that's the hotness right now, versus like the full spectrum of ENM. And it really comes off as how can I put it? In fact, I'm just gonna focus on the Black community's outlook of it, because if I try to look at the world, look,
it's too complicated.
it's like, oh. But like when I start, because I didn't even notice, like, all right, perfect example. Like you've been living your whole life, you've been driving around forever around town, something you just never really noticed. And then all of a sudden you have a close friend that gets a Nissan Versa. Then all of a sudden you see a whole lot of Nissan Versas popping up left and right, just like, did this make people really own this much cars? Like, whoa, where is this coming from?
Did everyone start buying these cars all of a sudden? No, they had them already. You just didn't see it.
And that's what I noticed about like when I went the ENM route, because like again, I'm Black, so my exposure to it, especially in Texas, I get a lot more. Really, what is that versus oh, nice. So you start noticing other content online, and luckily I deem myself a natural empath. Like, oh, I'm empathic, but I don't like to do the ethereal because part of me, my science background is like, ethereal ain't a thing. But then the other part of me is like, ethereal has some merit. Ooh, my ears. But I'm like, ethereal have some merit. That's why I never like laugh at someone that talks about their signs and whatnot, because like I don't know it all. With that being said, I find it kind of weird when you have those people come around with the whole generational wealth thing, because when I say I'm a natural empath, it just all it basically means is it's easier for me to be in tune with the emotional state of another person. Like you have the manufactured empath where it's like, I've been through that same thing, therefore I now know these emotions. I'm on the other end where I don't have to physically feel like, something happened to me for me to realize what the emotional state of another person is. So when I hear about like those, I want to build a generational wealth and whatnot, my natural empathic abilities kick in.
Nation. I want to build a
yeah, those people, my natural inclination for those people, my natural empath kicks in where it's like, So pretty much you want to use your partners as property. That's what's going on here. You want to try to have a lot of kids, and you're trying to use false ideology, false African ideology, where yes, in various African nations, you'll have a man with multiple wives. What those people keep leaving out is the man with the multiple wives, they're not allowed to have multiple wives unless they can actually keep and like handle multiple wives. Like these are the strong farmers that own a lot of land where it's like, oh yeah, I guess you can go ahead and have my daughter because look at how great you are. Pay the bride price, you keep it moving. But they leave that part out. They keep it as if it's like, hey, yo, hey, come together with me and let's pull our funds together and let's build an empire. It's like you're skipping steps.
You're skipping steps, but also, why is my money involved in this? When all I'm trying to do is get to know you and see if I even want to be around you. First of all, want to be friends with you, want to date you, want to date your partner, because I don't know her either, or any of your other people.
Hell, we can even keep it simple because we keep forgetting that like women like yourself are sexual beings. Some women are in this just for sex too. Let's keep it real. Like, she don't even want your wealth. Maybe she just wants some dick, and then you fucked it up because you're over here talking about you're trying to bring back the ancestors. Like consistency, bro. Like you got to pick one or the other.
It's like you trying to bring back the ancestors. First of all, they don't want to come back. Second of all, if they coming back, they're not coming back for you. Because why would they? What are you doing to actually honor them?
Wait, hold on. The same ancestors that you are proud of claiming jumped from boats because of Black Panther?
And let's be honest, those aren't your ancestors. If they jumped, they cut off their line. It's done.
I will never understand Hotepian logic because they try to make that the most deep and profound meaning. I'm like, no, like once they're in the water, I mean, they maybe they're in an uncle, but they're they're just chilling at the bottom of the sea.
Yeah, I mean, unless they had you and then jumped, there's no way that you're connected to them. You were connected to the people who stayed here, who made it through slavery, who had kids and made it through all these generations of fuck shit. That's what you are from.
But hey, Hotepian logic is unique and weird, but we have it here. It is what it is.
We're stuck with it.
Oh, well, let me go ahead and say real quick, because I have literally stolen the beginning model of Hard or Soft podcast, where we just talk for a bit to start the show. And hello, travelers. Let me welcome you to another episode of Hitchhiker's Guide to Ethical Non-Monogamy. I am your host, Ike, also known as Hito in certain circles. And I do have a lovely guest today, goes by the name of a love goddess. Say hello to the peoples.
Hello, good people.
Would you want to go ahead and give a quick introduction to you, what you're about, and what we're going to talk about today?
So one, I am not that great at introductions, but I'm going to give it a try. So my name is Evie, or at least I go by Evie, but also Love Goddess on the internet. I'm in my 20s. I'm figuring out life, but I make things, usually videos, used to be blog posts about non-monogamy and dating. And today we're going to talk about the dating scene while being Black and non-monogamous.
It's such a fun topic. Well, yeah, I will just go ahead and say briefly, I met Love Goddess through a group chat, group formerly known as a tribe called Kink, now known as Black Kinkdom. Oh, sorry, had to clear that out.
Get that out.
Like, get the remnants of COVID out of my body.
Yes.
But yeah, I met through the group chat. We were able to hang out and whatnot because I'm a traveling thought, and that's just what I do. I just meet people and say hello, and when they're like all of a sudden like, oh shit, you're cool as fuck, I prefer keeping in contact with them because there's only so many cool people in your lives. Why would I get rid of them? I mean, that's the reason why we're chatting right now. I'm not gonna let it go until you're like, consent revoked. Leave me alone. Like, ooh, consent revoked. Like kryptonite. No.
Nah, you're too cool for that. I'm not gonna revoke you.
Yes. And yes, I'm a bit nerdy. Apparently that's appealing, so I'll take it.
Yeah, nerds are hot.
One thing I've learned, more times than not, the more ethical freaks are nerds. Now, that's not to say let me take back the ethical part, because you have some people that suck at communication that are nerds. So let me take that to ethical. The most freaky people are nerdy or like educator-esque level type stuff, like professors, engineers, doctors, teachers.
I think because those type of people, like us, you kind of have to get to a point where you start to ask, why am I doing this? Why am I doing it this way? Can it be done a different way? Which is how you get into your different professions, but also how you get into non-monogamy, because we are taught that monogamy is just what we do. Yeah. It's the only option. And if you never ask the question of, well, why is it that? Why do we do that? Then you're going to stay there.
And you know what's kind of crazy? It's not even that we are taught monogamy is the only way, because, growing up, I've learned of Mormons, I've learned of Muslims. It's almost like monogamy or polygyny. Like, those are the two options there. Like, now for women, your property, go make babies and cook dinner.
Pretty much.
But for men, it's like we have these like two options. Actually, technically three. Being that uncle that's a bachelor, just living life and doing things. Being a monogamous man who either cheats or is faithful and read a movie about you, or being non-monogamous due to religion. Yeah, that's what I'm taught.
See, my childhood was very interesting in the way that my family told me monogamy is the way to go, especially as a girl. You're gonna settle down with one person. You're gonna have these kids, because we don't do that queer shit over here neither, which jokes on them. I'm queer. It's either that or you are what is one of the favorite? A Jezebel. You were just out here.
Wait. Your family called you a hoe?
Oh yeah, of course my family called me a hoe. I have a Southern family. They shame the hell out of me.
I love that is actually one of the biggest Southern traits, where it's like, we're going to find the nicest way to insult you. It makes it even worse.
It's bless your heart.
Bless your heart energy.
Yeah, it's bless your heart energy. What was funny about growing up, though, is that even though they verbally told me that, I watched them cheat on each other. I'd watch them have kids with other people. And it wasn't a secret, like we all knew. I watched my parents have an open relationship, but not explain it to us, as if we could not, me and my brother, as if we didn't see them going in and out in between dates, being upset about it, because they were not ethical at all. They were just being mean to each other.
I mean, look.
So I'm not new to this shit. I was born to be this way.
See, my whole thing is a little different, because I wasn't really pushed one way or the other. I mean, the biggest push I ever got in regards to dating, marriage, etc., is marry a Igbo girl. That was pretty much the bar that my dad set. My mom really wasn't with it. She was like, I'm over here working, trying to make sure y'all survive. Like, I ain't worried about who y'all marrying right now. Like, go get a degree. That's what her energy was. Set yourself up to prosper. His energy, once you're coming back to Nigeria, live here. Oh, I want you to marry Igbo gal. And, that was that energy. See, as a middle child and as the know-it-all of the family, I questioned everything. I'm like, I'm over here. I'm the guy that's asking, why is the sky blue? Because it's a reflection of water. Why is it set up that way? Like, I'm the person that is asking, what is hot dog made of? And tell me the answers. That's how dangerous I lived growing up. So
you got told to shut up a lot, huh?
Oh yeah. And guess
Oh,
what I did? I kept talking.
of course you did.
So it's like I happened upon ENM because because I'm like I wasn't like a cheater or anything like that. Like there was one time I cheated. I count this as cheating because my definition of cheating is breaking an established boundary with your partner. That's how it is established cheating. And what happened is there was a prior love interest. She was moving out of town. She needed help like packing her stuff up. You know, young Ike being stupid, thinking I'm just gonna be the nice guy and help her out, which I did, and everything was fine. Went on, finished getting because I'm a one man moving machine. Back in the day, I need to hit the gym again because stairs are my kryptonite. But finished loading up her vehicles or whatever. It's like, all right, this was nice. I'm glad I could help you out. She gave a bit of an emotional spiel about like how maybe we should date. Da, da, da. I'm like, oh well, time has passed. It is what it is. Give a hug. And like as I'm letting go, she's holding on. She looks at me. I look at her. We end up like making out a bit. And then in my head, I'm like, nigga, you fucked up. Get the fuck out of there. Yep. To which I backed away. I looked at her. She wanted to D. Like it was like we were gonna go on this on the bed. The bed's on the floor. We're talking like trap house level looking shit. Where it's like
it sounds like it.
It was just a bed. We got everything packed up. The bed's right there, and I'm like, I gotta go. Literally ran to my car. Like after I walked out, I closed the door and ran to my car because I knew if I stopped and thought for a second, I was going like full on in. But I still count that as cheating because it's like my partner would not have appreciated me making out with someone that had like prior interest in.
Yeah, especially if that's not already a part of your dynamic. That's cheating.
This was like my monogamous days. Like, as far as my monogamous days go, that was like my only moment of cheating. And beyond that, like, I'm pretty much on a straight and narrow. I'm always communicative. Like, I've always been a sharer of stuff because I'm like, I'd rather you know now and save me the headache. Because I'm that lazy person where I'm just gonna be honest with you now because keeping up a lie ain't my thing. So we move fast forward to a point where the last relationship dissolved. It was more so my ADHD that caused that one, but also I have to like stop and think like, why am I getting these relationships? Like, what am I looking for? Because even I'm wondering like, what's this all about?
Even doing
like I'm over here, like I was not like I was a serial dater or anything, but it's like, what are we here for? And the irony is, I was pushed towards ENM because a guy friend of mine invited me to a sex party, which I'd never been to, and had a blast. Great time. Hotel parties, first time going. I mean, it's Austin, so it was white as fuck, but that's okay. It was still like an experience. And at one of those parties, I was chatting with this couple. Like, I was just chatting with this guy. It's like, how'd y'all happen upon this? Because, again, I question everything. It's like, how this couple just over here like, I want to go to a BBC hotel party and take my wife and have her have a good time. Like, I want to know the thought process. And like he was explaining, it's like, no, I love my life. Like I love my wife and she does enjoy this. Like I enjoy it for her. Yeah, I do my own things. Like we even have our own little threesome things. Like he was just like kind of breaking down like how they got to it because even they were under certain pressures because church and yada yada, where it's like, oh, you have to be this, this, and this. And they collectively buckled where they kind of realized like, this is some bullshit. It's like, yo, want to try something? They tried it, they liked it, and they just kept doing other things and trying and learning more. And I'm like, 15-year-old I came back where I was like, I told myself, like, I want a relationship where me and my partner establishes the rules. I just didn't realize how many rules we could just make up.
Oh man, once you realize that everything is made up, everything is a scam, everything's made up. Oh, so you are a good person because you immediately felt bad about cheating. I cannot say the same thing because I found my husband because I was cheating. I had a boyfriend, which if you ask my husband, he's going to be like, you have a boyfriend. You just had a person who was around. No, we were dating. My boyfriend, we were introduced through a mutual friend. We started talking, hanging out. I noticed that I started to really like him, and I was like, oh crap. I still have a whole boyfriend. What am I gonna do? They ended up meeting because my friends at the time were assholes. They knew my boyfriend was coming, but they knew that I really liked my husband to be at the time. And they said, oh, let's just all hang out as a group. It was such a setup. I did it anyway because I was dumb.
Side note, I'm here for petty. I love petty. I'm just saying.
I love petty too. I love other people's mess. And at the time I was 19. So I'm like, you know what? Fine, we're going to go. I have sex with my boyfriend. We get dressed. We go to my husband-to-be's dorm room. Immediately, me and him lock eyes. And then I noticed that my boyfriend's looking at me like, the fuck is going on here? What are you doing? It was a wrap after that.
I mean, at least he was vigilant to realize, oh yeah, I'm not needed here.
Yeah, we still stayed together though. So once I went on a date with my husband, I was still technically with my boyfriend. And he sat me down. My husband sat me down and was like, hey, so I'm not going to be a side dude. You're going to have to break up with him. Okay, sure. Sure.
I mean, look.
I guess we together now.
It was a good call.
For 2 years, we moved in together. And he actually came to me and said, I can't do this. I'm bored, is what he literally said. I'm bored. I didn't register what he was saying. So I thought, oh, it's Saturday. We can go outside and like do stuff. We can go to the movies or whatever. He's like, okay, you're not listening to me. I'm saying I don't want to be monogamous anymore. I had no idea that he was suggesting ENM at the time. So I thought, you're trying to break up with me? Oh my God. I moved all this way to be here with you. We're trying to live a life and you want to break. And he's like, no, again, you're not listening. But it was the best decision we ever made. It was the best thing.
The way I deem my decision of going ENM is that it was the best, worst decision I have ever made.
Okay, why the best and why the worst?
Best because of how liberating and free it is, as well as educational. Like, you learn a lot about yourself. And you unlearn a lot about yourself. Like, it's like, it's like, how do I describe it? Like, yes, again, natural empath. So it's not like I'm over here struggling to understand other different people's struggle. Like, I'm out here team pro-choice, not because I'm over here like yay abortion or anything like that, because I can understand a woman that decides to get an abortion, she's not over here trying to pop these things like Skittles. Like, no, like something happened and there's a tough decision to be made. Why make it tougher? Or like, I'm over here like sharing for like Melissa Lucio, woman that was out in the valley, lost her child due to an accident. And guess what the cops did? Berated her and got a false confession out of her. And she was put on death row while pregnant because her 2-year-old fell down the stairs. I'm sure stuff like that. I have no ties to that. Luckily, they put a stay. So we'll see what happens next month. But so I don't need to be selfish in my outlook of things for me to feel for another person. And with that, that's why I feel like the unlearning as well as the learning, that's the best part. The worst part is the work. Because again, I'm lazy. And you cannot, like, I have to
can't do this without putting in work. You really can't.
I had to convert my laziness into efficiency. Like, I had to like figure, because I know who I am. I know what I am. I know what I'm about. I'm not going to lie to myself and be like, I'm going to be on top of it. I'm going to have calendar 2.0 and like, no, ADHD brain. Like, I use my periods of focus to get things done, and everything else is a good luck. So I had to be more efficient with stuff, be it in dating and communication, in fulfilling my partner's needs, and fulfilling my own needs. Like, I had to be more efficient. I can't just do the whole moment of focus. All right, 2 things done. Cool. And then all of a sudden, the 5 things neglected all of a sudden like pile on. Like,
yeah.
Just 2 weeks ago, I had to just take a myself day because I realized I was like always in a bucket of work, partner one, partner two, oh, potential dates. Like I had so many things that I didn't realize I never had like time for me. To I even told my partner, because like she moved in a couple months ago, so leveled up to equal partner, I guess.
Congratulations.
I mean, hey, saving a little money on the rent in this economy,
Hey,
bonus.
2 incomes are better than one. Okay.
but since the move, I realized I never had like a time for me. Like she loves doing things. I love doing things with her, but like when she was making suggestions, I'm like, no, I'm gonna use this Monday for me. I have no idea what I'm gonna do. I just don't. No offense to you, but I don't want to do anything with you. I just want to focus on what I want to do, and like if that includes you, I'll let you know. But for the most part, this is a me day. Like it
Man,
sounded harsh, but it was like
that's hard to
necessary.
say to your partner sometimes that I love you, I care for you, but get out of my face. Get out of my face. I need time for me. When I'm okay, I will come back to you and
Because
tell you all the things I did.
because it sucks on 2 levels. On one level, you know your partner. You've been together for a while, so you know how they will take your words.
Yep.
The second level, knowing how they take your words. If I'm like, no, don't feel like it, want to focus on me, it comes off as a, oh my God, he doesn't like me. What's wrong with me? What did I do wrong? Is he
Oh,
upset? Like translating, like, because again, impact. Plus, I tend to be attentive. Like, I like to do the surprise stuff in order to surprise your partner with stuff. You got to pay attention and see what they're about, which
right.
I've learned. My partner doesn't like surprises. So I minimalize. I always have surprises to like a minimal scale of like just small things because I love surprises. So my
Yeah.
compromise, you get small surprises, no big ones. Like no surprise party for you, but a surprise gift randomly, that's what you'll get. Um, and
Compromise.
like,
I like that.
I mean, hey, I still gotta do things that I like, and hopefully it it like lines up with, and she understands that because she says to herself she hates surprises. I love surprises, and so the compromise is because I don't have any crazy anxiety or things like that. So I do understand why her level of surprise might like why surprises might be a bad thing for her. So if I keep it to a minimum kind of scale, it's nothing that'll be like outside or like triggering or anything to that effect.
I get that. I am trying to get over not liking surprises for the longest time, especially the way I was raised. My dad literally said, "We don't do last minute shit." So I catch myself as an adult saying, "Oh, I don't do last minute shit. I don't, you need to tell me." My
In
mom would say,
advance.
"Oh, I need to know 2 weeks ahead of time." So I'm used to planning 2 weeks or a month ahead of time for things. Other people don't work that way, especially in ENM. Other people don't schedule things the way you do. They don't communicate the way you do. They don't give in relationships the way you do. So you just have to adjust. And that's shitty sometimes, to be honest. It's shitty, but
but it's
necessary.
but it's also a matter of adjusting to a scale that's not detrimental to yourself.
That.
Because
That.
like if it takes you to a point where it's like you don't like it, then you just gotta we society makes breakups seem like the worst thing ever when it's not the worst thing ever. The worst thing ever is staying together and being horrible for longer.
Mm. Because you know how people say that life is short, so you need to make the best of it and blah, blah, blah. No, life's long, especially when you're stuck with somebody you don't really want to be with. What's the point of that? I got to
Life
do this day in and day out for what? Years? Decades?
that's see, you I think you mixed up 2 things. Like, no, life is long when it sucks. Life is short when you're having fun. Like you go to a movie, I go into the movies, I watch Avengers Endgame. Wait, that was 3 hours? Damn, that was quick. I go to the movies and I see the Batman. Jesus Christ, is this movie over yet?
Oh, yeah, I heard that it was not good.
Thank
It's
God
not
I did.
giving what it was supposed to give.
Thank God I did not go see Morbius. I would have felt like I was there 100 years, apparently. So, yeah, life is short when it sucks, but when you're having a good ass time, it flies. Like, despite all of the ups and downs when it comes to having someone move in a brand new with you. Wait, she moved in beginning of, yeah, it's been 2 months. It doesn't feel like it. It feels shorter. It feels like it's quick. Like, yeah,
Aww.
ups and downs or whatever. I love this woman. It's like been a cool time. It's been fun. And I didn't realize like time be flying like this.
Yeah, time does fly when you're really enjoying yourself, especially with somebody that you living with. Best thing ever.
I'm here for it. All right. I guess we should at least hit the topic. We touched on a lot of random things, which I am here for. But I guess we can go ahead and hit on the topic of dating while Black and ethically non-monogamous. Focus on the ethical because I had to. The reason why I feel like I focus on the ethical part is because there are some people coming up where they're like, why don't you just call it non-monogamy? Why you got to throw ethical or consensual in front of it? Like it should automatically be such ways. And I'm like, that's not how society works. Like we have these terms: side piece, side dude, side chick, sneaky link. Like these are all forms of non-monogamy.
Yeah.
So
but usually somebody's being lied to if you're being called a side piece, a side chick, a sneaky link.
More times than not, the main partner. And
that
therefore
you know about or you don't know about.
So that's the reason why, like, kind of replied to him, like, you kind of have to put the ethical in there because non-monogamy is all around us. It's just that we don't see it that way. We see it as a part of life.
Exactly. And I feel like it's really important to pick and choose, like be very picky about the people that you're dating because there's so many different forms of non-monogamy that people don't really, how do I put this?
They don't grasp how wide of an umbrella ENM really is.
That there's so many things. There's so many different ways that you can do this. And so one of my questions, really, I treat dating like an interview. I'm trying to see, are we compatible? Do you hit the things I need? Do I hit the things that you need so we can move forward? But one of my questions is, how many partners do you have? What's your dynamic structure? Who knows what? Who am I supposed to be around? And who am I not supposed to be around? Because everyone wants something different. And I'm not going to come into a dynamic if everyone's not on board. Everyone has to be on board for me to be here.
Because I talked about this in the last episode. Don't ask, don't tell. Now, I said it. Don't ask, don't tell. Essentially, keyword essentially, can be ethical.
Yes.
It can be ethical, mainly because the only reason why people would go the route of don't ask, don't tell is more so boundary based versus, it's because you have some people that may lie in regards to saying, oh yeah, we don't talk about our thing. So I feel like that's the hiccup of don't ask, don't tell, is because you have ancient people that would try to lie and claim that it's don't ask, don't tell, when in reality their partner don't even know that what's going on.
Yeah. Personally, I don't deal with people who have don't ask, don't tell dynamics because it's too risky.
Yeah.
It's too easy to just fall into, oh, well, they know I'm out. Do they? Do they know you're out? Do they know you're doing these things with multiple people? I understand that they put up a boundary they don't want to know, but I need to know if they're actually cool with this.
Yeah, because my anchor partner seemed like she wanted to go the route of don't ask, don't tell. I didn't, because again, emotions, they're weird. And she felt, I guess, jealousy or whatnot, because
which is normal and natural, and we really should talk about it more.
Yeah. And it just really came off in a, how can I put it? It was weird because it was like she didn't want to know, but she did want to know. And by the didn't want to know is don't let me know what's going on. But on the want to know is like who this person, where you meet, what y'all up to, what y'all doing. It was kind of weird because I don't mind sharing. I have no problem sharing because I feel like you should have certain information. Now I'm not over here trying to say, oh yeah, I bent her over, took one leg up on my thigh, and like I'm not trying to give gruesome details in my like letting you know what's going on. But if I'm happy, I want to share my happiness. And if you're happy, I want you to share your happiness. And one thing I am against is a tit for tat type of thing. That's the reason why I didn't want to do the whole, because we share a koozie calendar so that we know our schedules. But
Mhm.
I don't want a tit for tat thing because I am an extrovert. I go places, I see things. So if I'm over here filling a calendar full of like, oh, I'm seeing this person this day, I'm seeing this person this day, I'm seeing this person this day, then it comes off as a either she's not going out enough or I'm going out too much. And
Mm.
I don't need that tit for tat calculations to like hinder anything. Um,
Because then you get into, oh, you're going out, so I got to go out. I have to go out every time you go out because I don't want to be stuck here alone and have to think about all the things that you're possibly doing with someone else. And that makes me feel ways that I don't like to deal with. So instead, I don't want to know.
yeah, and kind of going back in what you're saying, like you kind of treat dating like an interview. I am more of a free flowing interview kind of person where it's like I don't have questions in mind, but I'm attentive to stuff. I look at things, I hear things, like I look for clues and keywords that'll like perk my ears to be like, all right, that's good. Oh, that's bad. Like, oh, that's nice. Like, that's kind of how I go about it. And one thing I recognize that I have been very fortunate in terms of my dating. I am beginning to realize that I am a part of that fortunate because more times than not, like you have some people that feel themselves. I'm not one of those people. Like I feel like I'm decent. I feel like I'm cool. I feel like I'm a nice guy. But then more and more I'm beginning to realize like, oh shit, people actually like me. Like that's pretty cool. Or like, cause like I feel like, I'm not no Denzel, but I'm realizing like, oh damn, I actually do look pretty good. Like a certain confidence was like started kicking up in me since the pandemic started because I like never really took time to think about myself because people pleaser, hedonist, it always is more focused on external versus internal. Pandemic gave me time to like look at myself, so I began to realize a couple things. Like, yes, I was fortunate because I met my partner on OkCupid
Mm.
while I was in Washington D.C. going to like a swingers event.
What? That's amazing.
Because like I was like in the hotel waiting for it. New Year's Eve, I was bored, so I'm like, oh, let's see what's going on. And like, I guess let me open OkCupid. Like, oh, it's still in Austin. See this beautiful black woman. It's like, y'all exist. Like, oh, let me go ahead and swipe right. Because she was like, I didn't even realize she had titties like that. I was like, oh, okay. And then again, there was another woman, beautiful black woman. She said she was ENM. I was like, oh, go swipe right. I'm like, okay, cool. And then like after doing that for a while, took a nap, wake up, I get messages from both of them. Like, okay. Started talking to them. You have my anchor partner, but at that time, she's like, oh hey, cool. You want to meet up? I'm like, yo, it's a scam. It's just like this is like quick. And then because to which it does make sense. You want to take it off the app as soon as possible because that leads to more so success than chatting on the app forever. But I'm like, yo, me tomorrow. It's like, I don't know, I fly back in. And then my birthday, I'm like, what about the day after my birthday? It's like, yeah, sure, cool. Met, like things clicked. It was nice. Like for me to convert someone that hates coffee dates into actually liking the coffee date we had. Because again, efficient. I'm not out here trying to risk a dietary thing that you might not like. Let's go for coffee. Let's see if we like each other first and chat,
Yes.
and then move forward. Like I'm not here on a coffee date to impress. I'm here to chat to figure out what's going on. But that's how we first met, and now we're like 2+ years later living together, and she loves my dog.
Aw,
Um,
yay.
The other lady, we ended up like going out like a week after we first started chatting. And like we were cool. We ended up, like I explained my whole ENM thing, what I was going for. And she was with it because, you know, she had her own little thing ship from a guy back home where they were broken up. But she was kind of like trying the ENM thing since they broke up to like, I had no idea what her end goal was, but she was cool people. Like we would chat, hang out. It was cool. Things did get sexual, and let's just say I'm the only person that's allowed to eat her out because she's sensitive. And apparently, I knew what I was doing to where she was like, "Yo, ain't no one ever." Yeah, when you are given that kind of like credence, I'm over here being proud. I'm proud of that. It's like I'm the only one. Thank you. Like, where's my Academy Award? and we're still cool to this day. Like anytime, like I pretty much consider her a comic partner because she's no longer in the city of Austin. But you know, every now and again we come into each other's orbit, and it's cool to like connect or reconnect or whatnot. And then throughout the years, like I've been with my anchor partner. I'm still cool with that other lady. Happened upon someone else on FetLife, where I don't know if we matched on Tinder before, but that's what she was like. Did we match on Tinder before? I'm like, I don't know. I keep that app deleted and uploaded. Like I never be on Tinder anymore. And we are cool. Essentially, she's in the city. I consider her kind of a play partner slash friend because like my church, my ministry is relationship anarchy, which pretty much is each partner we discuss what it is that we want from each other, and that's the relationship. It's kind of hard to put one word on it. Like the fact I found anchor partner for this partner, it's kind of like fortunate, but for everyone else, is like, do I list out what we like agreed
what
upon?
We could be,
so
or what I want us to be.
So yeah, so that's kind of what my dating has looked like. That's why I say I'm fortunate. Now, again, I understand now that I have some qualities that allowed me to be fortunate because I'm positive if I was a little bit uglier, if I was like short, if I wasn't as open-minded or in tune with my femininity as I am, then things will be different, you know. But I am who I am, and this is the position I'm at. And I'm cool with that.
Okay. My dating life has been, I feel like it's gone through a lot of different changes because when I first started out being non-monogamous, first of all, it took me a good 6 months to even start going out on dates because I had to wrap my mind around, what does this mean? What does this mean for me? What does this mean as a person? What am I doing? What do I even want? You know what? Let's stop thinking about it. Let's just go on dates. I go on dates explaining ENM to people who weren't ENM, which was my biggest mistake. Why was I going out with monogamous people thinking that that would work? Don't know, but I did. And I realized that that didn't work. I had a lot of great sex. I can say that. A lot of great sex, but anytime where I developed feelings for someone, that's when it got sticky. I'd have really weird conversations, particularly with men who would say, but I thought you have a partner. I do. I told you that on our first date. I told you that when we were talking on usually OkCupid or Tinder. You knew. So I want to explore something else. Well, I'm not really comfortable with that. All right, fine. This was fun. I really appreciate this time. Let me move on. And then I fell in love with a guy and I was not expecting to, and I did not know what exactly I was gonna do. I freaked out and ran to my partner, was like, I think I'm in love, but I still love you. So I don't know what to do. He said, it's fine. Go explore that. He's always said, just go explore. So I feel like I've been exploring, going from, okay, I'm in an open relationship where I can have sex with multiple people and we can be friends, to, okay, I actually want to have relationships with people. That was weird too in the beginning because I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. I was not being as honest. My partners at the time were not being as honest. They'd go out with people and I wouldn't know until 3 weeks later. And they told me, well, why do you want to know? Because I need to know who you're dealing with. I need to know who else you're giving dick to. I need to know what's happening. But that makes me feel uncomfortable. And it made me realize, okay, I need to know this. This helps me understand what I need and what I want in relationships of any type. Since you can't give me that, thank you. I'm going to move forward without you. I don't know. It's just been a lot of trial and error. So much trial and error. So many bad, wrong things I did.
But that's the thing. One, what was it? I don't even remember where I heard this from, but it's kind of like, so to set the scenario, I remember hearing this in regards to, hell, it might have been Abbott Elementary. We're talking about, oh girl, she dated that one, her boyfriend that's the rapper, where everyone's like,
Fox, yes.
And it was like, wait, only him? Like he never tried anything else? Like not at all? To which I'm already feeling bad for her because it seems like, you ain't had no one else. And it seems like you're going to go ahead and go with Chris. Yes, I know his name is Greg, but no, that's Chris. But like, so like you pretty much, because dating is all about trial and error. Dating is all about figuring out who you are, what you like in a person, what you provide to a person. It's like that whole little balancing, like it's kind of like the whole discovery thing. And I don't see anything inherently wrong with that at all, because kind of like it's kind of life. Like, some people ate poison berries, some people ate the good ones. Shout out to the person that got the good berries,
But shout out to the person who ate the poison berry, because now we know.
There you go. And you had some poison berries. Now those poison berries came some with good dick or good vagina. I don't know who you had sex with, but they were still poison berries.
Definitely. And like you said, I think that's just life. You have to have bad dates. You have to have people where you think it's going to go well and it just doesn't, or you think it's going to go badly and it ends up being amazing. It's just life.
I mean, my anchor partner swiped right on me because she was just looking for some good dick in the city.
I feel that.
She legit told me that. Like, we're just laying around. It's like, man, I only got an okay Cupid because I just wanted some good dick. And then I got a whole ass relationship.
That's how I feel about my secondary partner right now. I'm like, this is not what I planned on when I slid in your DMs, okay?
It does not help that. So we end up hooking up on the second date, but it doesn't help that it was after watching Detective Pikachu.
That's how you know it was meant to be. You
That's real love right there.
You can't do that with everybody.
Oh man. Oh, but yeah, and because now as far as dating goes, that camera keeps wanting to move.
There we go. Okay, we're okay now.
Oh, but yeah, as far as dating goes, it really not even hell. Take out the ENM part of it. Take out the polyamorous. Just take out all of it. Seems like dating sucks in general because monogamous people have been complaining about dating since the Europeans took over the world. Like there's always like I have a monogamous homegirl literally made a post on Facebook where it's like, yo, there's something's gotta be wrong with the dating pool. It's a scam. And it seems like the generic response will always be there's pee in the dating pool and it's green.
I mean, there's pee. There's pee in the dating pool.
And then she was like that. Oh no, she was like that binge drinking level of pee.
Well, it's rough out here. It's rough in these streets.
Again, fortunate. I will accept that. I mean, maybe because Austin's so white, like all the black people are like, all right, we're the decent black people. Like, all right, he looks decent enough, you know.
It's that. But we also have to define what is decent, because everybody has a different definition. And that's what you figure out when you go on dates with people, regardless of whether you're ENM or not. Because some people think that, oh, I shower once a week, that's decent. Excuse me? No, it's not. What are you doing? Oh, I talk to my mom, or I talk to my mom some sort of way, in a disrespectful way, and it's fine. Personally, nah, I don't think that's okay.
See, I go with the more broad term of decent. I don't define decent. I go with majority of rules version of decent. Like, do I open doors? It depends on the faculty of the woman. Like, if she's already reaching for it, I'm not about to slap her hand and grab the door. Like, that's not decent. Like, she's literally about to pull it open. But the decent in the sense that, like, if 100 people saw me do an action, they're like, 51 of them like, all right, that's decent.
I think that's a good way of thinking of it.
Because the showering once a week. Now, I get it. Black people only 13% of the population of America, but all 13% would agree. No, that's not decent. And wash your legs and your feet.
Please wash all of you. Wash underneath your nails, that belly button, all those hard to reach spots.
I mean, better. That's the best way to go on a date. Fully clean.
Some people, honestly, I've been on dates with people of all genders, and they smell, and they think it's fine. I went on a date with a guy. It's funny now that I think about it, but I went on a date with a guy, and he told me that he was driving to the bar, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'm here. I can wait for you. I had my first drink. I'm looking at the time. I'm like, he's late. I don't like that. Let me text him, make sure that everything's fine. You good? Yeah, I'm just walking over from your parking spot. Yeah, but I decided to park a little bit further so I can get a workout. We're going on a date. Why would you go on a workout before a date? You know what? Fine. I can be judgmental. I understand. Let me just deal with this. He gets there. I see sweat on his forehead. It's not hot. It's not that hot outside. I'm from Texas. I know heat. It's not that hot outside. And it's also night time.
We got heat right here.
I hug him. His back is wet with sweat. And I'm like,
did he go full circuit?
I don't know what he did. I don't know if he walks around the block like 6 times. I don't know. But he was sweaty. And I was like, okay, let me just try. Let me try to talk because I really want to go. But you know what? Let me try. We talk, conversations dry. He eats my food. He eats my food. And then he talks shit about his ex-girlfriend. I'm like, okay, all right.
You can't have a wet back in a dry conversation. That should be reversed. You know, dry with like a wet conversation, or at least a conversation that'll get you wet.
Exactly. The conversation made me so dry. It made me cotton mouth dry. It was bad. And I was like, okay, well, I don't think that this is really working out, but I really appreciate you coming. Oh, yeah, no problem. Do you want to try another time? No, I don't. I ended up calling an entirely different dude to come to the same bar because I didn't feel like leaving. I got shit-faced. Went home with him. And then I ended up sucking his dick. And then I realized, oh, fuck, I had way too much to drink. And he just came down my throat. And what it wants to come up.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sounds
Made it to the bathroom. But I was so drunk that I fell asleep in the bathroom. I fell asleep in the bathroom. I remember him before I went to sleep. He knocked on the door like, you all right? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine. No problem. I wake up to him opening the door. My pants are around my ankles. I'm hugging the toilet. He hands me my phone and is like, so I called an Uber for you so you can go home. It's outside. Oh, okay. Thanks. Gather myself. He gives me a hug. I'm like, he's never going to talk to me again. This was the worst first date ever. I've had 2 bad people. This is a bad night. He ended up texting me like a week later saying, hey, you want to hang out again? I said, do you remember what I did in your bathroom? Do you remember the day? Yeah, I remember. But I also remember that I came really hard.
That's the part where I was thinking more so. Like when you were saying that he's never going to call me again, right now in my mind I was thinking, did you just forget that he came down your throat? Like that's, if I'm him, I'm thinking on the, oh, we got to do that again. Like I'm on the nasty side where it's like, oh, maybe I hit that dangly thing. Damn, that made.
He made it past the dangly thing.
Oh no, but he wouldn't have known. He would be thinking, oh damn, I shot the dangly thing. That might have made her want to throw up. Fuck, you all right? You okay? I'm over here. If I'm him, I'm guilt tripping. See,
but you're a more considerate person than this guy, because he actually stood me up after asking me for a second date. And I'm like, well, I'm just gonna take that L. I did make a bad first impression in my mind. I'm just gonna
you move on. You move on. I mean, it wasn't as if you gave you dick. So you pretty much just like,
I really wanted dick, but I couldn't have it because I was on my period. So I thought the best thing I could do was just suck your dick.
I mean, you topped him off. It seems like I feel I have a good time when I'm drunk and don't have to drive. So at the bare minimum, you did have a good time. You left the sweaty back guy alone, and you've kind of deemed the guy that's like, he's semi-trash because the reason why I say semi-trash is also because of the whole, your Uber's here. That's a dick move.
Right. It was a dick move. And it was the first time that somebody had done that to me. So I was like, I am so embarrassed. Oh my God, my shame. I feel like when I was dating years ago, when I first started, I was so ashamed of everything I was doing. Oh my God, someone's going to judge me. What if somebody recognizes me? What if somebody comes out here like, well, where's such and such? Where's your partner? Shut up. Shut up. I'm doing other things right now.
Oh man. Let's see. Oh, my battery's on 20%. I guess we'll talk for a little bit more, and then I guess we'll just wrap this. We've been going at it for a while. I love this. Thank you. Thank
you.
Quick confessional. So when I was in a certain area where Love Goddess was, like we were gonna meet up, and again, I have ADHD. Y'all know this. I tell y'all this weekly so that y'all don't judge me when I have an episode like 2 weeks late. But so we were meeting up at a bar, and like it was apparently a bar with the same name in 3 different locations.
Yep.
And I'm over here thinking, ooh, I'm gonna beat my ADHD out. I'm gonna be on time. I'm gonna just be there. Hey, where are you? Like, I don't see you. I'm here. Like, here, I don't see you at all. Like, it's like, yeah, I'm at the da-da-da. It's like, yeah, I was like, I look it up, like I look at the address, like, yeah, I sent you this address. Like, no, I'm at this location. I'm like, oh, fuck. Ended up being like 30, 40 minutes late. So, at least it was CP time and not African time. So I will take that victory. But that's a slight confessional because she was like, yo, I hate people being late. I'm like, oh, thank God she still actually like chats with me because, ooh.
Look, I have a thing about time, but we had already hung out before. So I thought he's worth it. I can wait. And I like this drink. This is a cool bar. I can do it. It's fine. And it ended up working out.
Okay, I'll take the win. I will take that win. All right. I guess let me see how much battery I got. still got a little bit. Okay. All right. So rapid fire. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna finish it strong. Okay. I'm gonna ask you some questions. Just go ahead and give the first thought that pops in your mind.
Oh God. Okay, sure.
All right. What are your thoughts on dating apps?
Ooh, fun but ineffective.
Okay. What are your thoughts on swinging?
Mm, fun but not for me.
All right. What are your thoughts on monopolyam relationships?
Ooh, complicated. And that takes a lot of understanding and conversation.
All right. What are your thoughts on ENM specific apps?
I think that they have the right ideas, but maybe sometimes the wrong execution.
Thoughts on long distance relationships?
I love long distance relationships, but they are not for everybody.
Thoughts on orgies?
So long as everyone is tested and agreeing to it, hell yeah, do it.
Thoughts on consent?
Necessary, essential.
Thoughts on communication?
Also necessary. You can't do any of this without communication.
All right, that's what I got. Appreciate that. Though I did want to throw in a thought. I feel like dating apps are missing a big opportunity by not focusing on either pushing non-monogamy or kind of zoning in on the market, because even though the market is small, it's always replenishable because people will be continuously looking for additional partnerships versus the match.coms of the world, where, because like I tell people all the time, dating apps are a de facto scam, not because they don't work, but because they get money based on your loneliness. So if it works out for you, good, you're not the target audience. The target are the desperate, the lonely, the people willing to pay $30 a month to get a chance at hoping to meet somebody or hoping to hook up with somebody.
Definitely don't pay for that, because I paid for OkCupid before and it changed nothing. Not about the people that I was finding. It's not worth the money to me.
See, I paid before, but that's because I hate, like, like those numbers that pop up on like your apps that's like, hey, you have 5,000 of these. I hate that. So when I open up Cupid and I see you have 26 likes, like, I don't know who these people are. I swear to God, I'm out of preferences. I swipe left, I swipe right. What's going on here? That's how they got me. They got me because of my little OCD-ness where it's like, I want this to be cleared. But yeah, I'm like, at some point, like I get Field is one. They have Open. They got like various options. Even at least OkCupid put non-monogamy as an option. But I feel like that should be at least a quality target audience because there are more people open to non-monogamy. They should probably speak more on this on the side of consent and conversations and yada yada. But also, you don't have to, your model is not based on people's loneliness, but people's willingness to connect. Like,
true, but I think we're leaving out the fact that ENM is still very taboo. How we live, how we love is still frowned upon. So they're not going to push something that is frowned upon.
Counterpoint. It's not even frowned upon. It's not even known.
True.
Because ENM is non-monogamy is known. They are the sneaky links. They are the family on the other side of town. Like ENM, non-monogamy exists. So it's not taboo. It's just that it just is, but no one's ever really just done it. Because even I told my sister, like, yeah, man, we're non-monogamous. Like, how's that work? I just told her. She's like, huh. Like, even with my homeboys, they're like, wait, you can do that? Because they feel like I found the cheat code. And I'm like, no, like I just literally told her, she was with it, and then we just move forward.
Huh? Oh God, you got the cheat code. I didn't. This
I
is
just
not
literally
ego.
like,
I do more work being non-monogamous than I did when I was monogamous.
because I'm over here like, I just brought it up in first date. She was like, "Oh, I'm here for it." I said, "I'm here for it," and that was it. It's so simple.
Because you're blessed to make it that simple.
Because I do have one homeboy where I kind of went to the whole spiel last episode where I'm like, I realized his hindrance, because if it was a matter of, oh no, she only deals with girls, he would be okay with it. If it was like, oh no, she doesn't do anything, I just sleep with other girls, he would be fine with it. But the fact that I allow her to have sex with other men is where he's kind of tripped off. I'm like, she's not a possession and she like dick. Why would I tell her like no more dick for you, but I get all the pussy? Like the only way that will be equitable or equal is if she says I'm not allowed to have pussy, but I can have dick. Like I don't want dick. No, dick is not for me.
You're assuming that some people want it to be equitable. Some people don't.
Oh no, people don't. Like there will always be discussions about how, because emasculation is the it thing for the Black community forever, where it's like, again, it's weird because like you realize you're judging your masculinity based on the European system. So I don't understand how you're trying to be pro-Black while pushing some white nonsense. But do you, boo boo?
It's because I think it's because a lot of particularly Black men see the perceived power that white men have, not even perceived, the actual power that white men have.
Oh no, it's still perceived. General. It's still perceived because we all die. Like
okay, so perceived power that white men have, particularly over white women, and they want that same level of power.
Oh yeah. I preach the gospel of you just want to be the oppressor. That's pretty much it. Like yeah. It's the reason why Black communities attack LGBTQ plus people is because you get to oppress them because you're not LGBTQ. It's like that's
because it makes you feel better because you're higher on the totem pole than me, but we're still below people. You are not better than me.
To which that's why I'm gonna just go ahead to ENM, play parties, and just live my life until I die because all this is BS.
Everything's a scam, everything's made up, so I might as well do what I want to do.
And that's what's up. Well, Eve, love goddess, I do appreciate you doing this with me. You are my first guest on doing this, so I am very happy that you were able to do this.
Thank you for having me. This was so much fun.
No problem. I will be sure to put your links to your Instagram and your YouTube channel, but if you want to go ahead and tell the people what your handle is on IG.
So I actually have two IG.
Tell the one that you want people to like, because you got to keep work-life balance.
You're right. So the one I want you to follow is the Love Goddess, where the O is actually an X, and I'm going to send that to you. And my YouTube channel is Love Goddess, which you can find in the description.
There we go. All right. Once again, do appreciate you for doing this. And all right, travelers, until next time, y'all be safe and look both ways before you cross the street.
Yeah.
Boom. All right. That recording is stopped. All right. I do appreciate that. Stop.